Welcome to this webinar on how to correct an abnormal gait. I'm Robert Rogers, the founder of Parkinson's Recovery in 2004. Do you struggle with maintaining good balance when you walk? Is freezing up an issue for you when you walk? Is your gait compromised in any particular way? Do you have difficulty when shifting from one space to another? Is it awkward? Is it difficult? Do you tend to stumble? Do you have difficulties? Do you go into fear? Do you freeze? Why is this so? No doubt there are many potential and possible reasons that are rooted in a neurological system that is clearly compromised. But the question I invite you to consider is, why is your neurological system compromised? What is up here? The answer that I have for you in this very brief video presentation is trauma that is trapped in the hips and in the neck. Okay, you're probably thinking, forget it, this is not me. I'm going to shut down this video right now. I have never been traumatized in my life. And I want to say that would probably be my response if you'd ask me about 12 or 14 years ago. But I want to say, really? No one has ever shouted mean words to you even when you were a child? Whoa, that's pretty incredible. Have you ever been in an automobile accident or other biking accident or skiing accident? Have you ever been hospitalized? That's pretty traumatic. Have you ever or never been told that you have a disease which is destined to get worse? A disease that is, quote, degenerative, a disease that is progressive. Progressive not in the sense that you're going to be getting better, but progressive in the sense that you're going to be getting worse. Now, that's trauma and a half. You've never been abused in one way or another, mentally, physically, emotionally. You've never served as a soldier during wartime. Well, you can see my point basically is pretty simple. Everyone in a body, which pretty much counts everybody on this earth, has been traumatized in one way or another during the course of their lifetime, whether it is a long lifetime or a short lifetime. Now, how can you tell you have been traumatized? So I'm saying there are lots of indicators, but perhaps you're still suspicious. Well, here's the answer. Do you move your hips when you walk? Or are they basically stuck? Are they stiff? Are they like concrete? I bet you don't move your hips when you walk if, in fact, you are having problems with mobility, if you have a gait that is abnormal. Trauma gets trapped in the hips. And this freezes up muscles and it obstructs neurological signaling, which cannot transmit through muscles that have been hardened and concretized. Just think about it. It's a pretty logical kind of a difficulty for the body. How do you send those signals across when in fact they're having to go through some concrete walls, which happen to be centered in your hips as well as your neck? No wonder why so many people have problems with their gait, given that trauma is a worldwide problem for everyone. I can't believe the number of friends that I have who've had to get hip replacements. Well, that's one option if you want to pursue that particular route. But another route would have been for them to realize that the reason they're having difficulty with their hips is trauma that has concretized the muscles that are surrounding the area of the hip. So what are the solutions? Well, there are many options that offer temporary relief. If you have gait problems, you're probably familiar with some of these. There are prescription medications. There's mucuna, which is a herb. There is CBD, something rather new. It's an extract from the plant which is legal instead of a cannabis plant. It comes from a plant that is essentially considered to be legal in all states. Or fava beans. I sponsor a whole website with lots of recipes and lots of ways to basically bolster up difficulties with dopamine deficiencies, which can, in fact, impede neurological signaling. So when you get your dopamine boosted up, you can have a temporary relief from whatever symptoms you might be experiencing. But wait a minute, what about long-term relief? Instead of having to resort to taking these kinds of herbal treatments or prescription medications, what might be available when it comes to long-term relief? Well, I believe that in order to heal from the inside out, rather than simply suppressing symptoms, the profound impact of trauma has to be acknowledged, honored, and cleared. And if it's not cleared, neurological signaling will continue to misfire. Neurological signals do not transmit through the muscles that have hardened and concretized. But when trauma has been cleared, the hips will sway from side to side when you walk. Muscles that once felt like concrete from the trauma can be indeed transformed. Concrete in the tissues can literally dissolve like an ice cream cone during the summertime, and neurological signaling that is healthy can in fact be restored. You could become one of these individuals who are marching in a, get this, parade in San Francisco. They're not having gait problems, they're out having a good time. So I want to suggest that you focus your attention on the many, many different options and ways to basically extract the trauma that is trapped at the cellular level in the muscles of your hips if you're a person that has gait problems. People don't realize that that's where it tends to get trapped. And of course, if it's trapped in the hips, you will be having difficulty with moving that left and right leg in sequence and in the order that is required for mobility that is unencumbered. Well, I have several resources that I just want you to know about. There's the new program that I basically just put up this week, the Walk with Ease and Confidence. And more information about that is parkinsonsdisease.me. And then there's also the Jumpstart to Recovery Udemy online course, which is also a resource that you might want to consider pursuing. That particular course offers a dozen different approaches that you can pursue that will, in fact, get that trauma out of your body so that those muscles can relax and so that you can regain full and effortless mobility. Thanks for listening in and connecting in. Again, this is Robert Rogers, the founder of Parkinson's Recovery.